Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm gonna be talking about budget Aero and what can you get for sub £200. And before I begin, there is a small disclaimer. I'm not affiliated with any of the companies. I bought everything at full price, my own money, no discounts, no whatsoever. And secondly, I want to say that it's not a criticism of anyone's work, it's just an overview basically of the stuff that I've received. And hopefully it will be helpful to make a decision, because here in the UK we don't have that many options, and all of them are, well, quite pricey. So I decided to bite a bullet and buy the, well, I think one of the cheapest Aeros on the market. Well, technically it's just overfenders, but you can see the quality, and I think you can interpolate it onto other products. So let's begin with a local company called Firefly Speed Shop, and by local I mean they are based here in the UK. If you are in the world of MX-5s, probably you've heard about them, and they're actually quite popular. They produced a wide variety of Aeros on MX-5s and 350Zs, but I've never found like a good overview of their products. There are a bunch of pictures online, but you can't really see the quality of the actual product that you receive, not that when it's been installed and prepped on the car. So I thought, well, it might be a good chance to make an overview like that. And because the company has sort of like tarnished reputation, I thought, well, I'm gonna risk it and will buy it anyway. Basically, I think the major problem comes from that huge delays in delivery and promises that it will be done at certain time, but well, it never. Well, I'm not gonna say never. From my personal experience, there was a delay, but it wasn't that bad. And I think the only issue is quite unclear communication. If they told me like, dude, it's gonna take us, I don't know, a month, I'd be saying, all right, fine by me. But yeah, I'll talk about that later. So let's begin with the overview of the actual stuff that I received from Firefly Speed Shop. And as you can see, this is a quarter panel, rear quarter panel for 350Z. It's 50mm wider than stock, and what you can see, it's really flexible. You can bend and twist it, which is really good for my application, which is drifting. If you get hit by a car or you just drive into a wall or something, it will just bounce back and hopefully you won't break it. Nice perk. The quality wise and the final finish, you'll see it in a sec. Okay, the price. How much these cost? If you go on the website, it's 157, 58 pounds. Well, let's round it to 160. And the delivery was another 30 pounds. So it set me back for 190 pounds delivered to my doorstep, which is great, I think. If you compare the prices, it's on the lower end of the spectrum. And quality-wise, they're not ideal, don't get me wrong, they're not bad either. I just wish they were slightly better finished. Like, there are some imperfections in the panel, but not drastic. You would have to prep it anyway. So, and buying any fiberglass, like whether it's a bumper, side skirts, anything, you will have to like work with a Dremel or angle grinder just to make sure that it fits perfectly. It's just my experience. Unfortunately, I received one of the panels damaged. There was a small crease in around here. It didn't crack all the way, but I contacted the guys and they offered me either a partial refund or a replacement, which I opted for replacement because I didn't want to fix it myself. I'd rather it being done by a professional or like just have another panel. I'm actually not sure if they're gonna replace the panel or they just fix it up. I'm down for either. It's not a big deal for me. Obviously a new panel would have been nice, but well, I don't think it's economically viable. So yeah, let's see. I just posted today. I have no idea how long it will take to get it back finished or just repaired or replaced. Hopefully it won't take long, but the wait time is quite long, and this is my next point. So how long did I wait? I placed my order back in March, if the memory serves right. I think it was the 18th of March, and I received these panels just a couple of days ago, which is I think 26th or 27th of April. So as you can see, just over a month. It's not too bad, but not ideal, considering that when I messaged them on Facebook and asked about the estimated delivery times, I was told that it takes usually around 2 weeks. And I think this is where the main problem actually comes in, is the estimation and the actual delivery. They don't quite match. Again, with a little bit better communication, just like, guys, we can't deliver it in 2 weeks, it's gonna be delivered in a month. Would have been nice. Like, no problem, I understand, like, you probably have a huge load of back orders and like, yeah, whatever. As I said, I'm quite satisfied. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad panel, again, for the price. Will I go and buy from them anything again? Yes, I will in the future. Actually, they sell the front overfenders as well, but I just don't like the design. This is where I went on eBay and found a company from Poland that make another replica of, I don't remember the name of the kit, but basically much nicer in my opinion, just design wise, front overfenders. And let me show how they look. So this is a two-piece panel. The one goes on the wing and the other one on the bumper, and together they make like pretty nice shape. I quite like it. How much did they pay for them? Pretty much the same, £160 plus £30 delivery. Again, another 190. Is it expensive? No, not really. I mean, if it was the entire wing, I would say yes. It's cheap, but for an overfender, might be a little bit expensive. But again, I don't know the costs of the production, labor costs, material costs. So it's just my subjective price perception, which I mean we all have it, and it's all different. If £200 is not a big sum for you, probably it's cheap, but for me it's relatively considerable amount. So it's just like when you compare a huge quarter panel and a small overfender that goes on top of a panel, it's like, yeah, why do I pay the same? Anyway, I digress. So these two pieces arrived in a huge box and they were nicely packed, but again, one of these was damaged, and I don't think it was damaged in transit. I think this is the fabrication flaw, or I don't know, casting flaw. I don't know. I think it just was an air bubble that when this piece was taken out of a mold, it just broke the gel coat, and probably they just didn't notice that, or I don't know the reason. I didn't contact them. It's a small tiny thing that is on the top of the edge, so it's basically going to be covered by this panel anyway, so I'm just gonna fill it with epoxy and put some paint on top with body filler. It's a tiny thing, it's not even a crack. As I said, it looks like a bubble that got crashed or probably just delaminated. I don't know the process, so sorry if my terminology is off. But yeah, I think the design wise they're pretty cool. The finish is slightly different. They are much glossier than the fireflies. Probably they use different gel coat, or I don't know the again right terminology for that, but it's different. It's much smoother, and again, not very perfect. You would have to sand it and put some primer on it just to make it perfectly smooth. Again, for the price, not too bad. Fitment wise, I haven't put them, well, I did, well, you can see it on the cover for this video, but my point being that in order to even test fit them, you need to cut the factory wings, which I didn't, so the fitment was slightly off. But what I can say is that these little puppies are sort of, they do fit, but they fit perfectly fine at the bottom, they fit perfectly fine at the top, but the middle section doesn't. Like, it just leaves a gap, or like, I don't know, probably half an inch wide. You can squeeze your arm between the, I don't know, I'm gonna call it a overfender, between overfender and the bumper. And because these are not as flexible as the fireflies, you can't really bend them, they're really rigid, so I think they won't last as long as the fireflies if you hit them. This is another thing to consider, which to buy, I think, because if you are planning to drift, probably you should go with the fireflies fronts, because I think they will be more durable, and they're not two-piece, there's just one piece that goes over the top of the wing. And yeah, I think this is pretty much it. So whichever you wanna go with, it's your decision. But I try to be as objective as possible. Again, I'm not criticizing anyone's work. It's just something that I think worth sharing with the community, because as I said, there are a bunch of pictures on the internet, but this stuff is already on the car, primed and painted. It's really hard to see the actual quality of the item. So yeah, this is it. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting. It does help, like this form of feedback and communication. It's sort of interesting. So see you in the next one.